What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Please turn your attention to the top right hand corner of the screen. There is a little info card there with other Red Talks. So if you like what you hear today and you want to hear some of the other things that I've discussed so far, please have a look up there. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you're hearing and what you see, and hit that little notification bell as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. So let's get into today's video. So Anthem 2.0 has just been announced that it is underway, it is in the works, and it's going to be looking at a rework to the core mechanics of the game. The loot tables, the progression system, and the endgame content. As we well know, Anthem has had a troubled history, from the now notorious reveal event at E3, which supposedly showed what we would expect from the game, or what the game to be, was nothing more than a tech demo. From reports that are now available online, we know that for some of the team working on this game at the time, this was the first time they would actually see the game as it was supposed to be, all together. This, plus the game, saw many development leads leave the project, as well as many developers feeling the crunch of what is now well known as the term BioWare magic, was a nice way of saying they were being worked to the point of breakdown. This of course led to the very underwhelming and disappointment release, which saw the game panned by critics and fans alike. So Anthem has had, it just seems like, one step back every single time more news came out about how this game went through development hell. However, despite that, it seems like we are getting a 2.0 patch, despite the fact that the player base has dwindled to quite low levels, or perhaps completely off. It looks as though things may be changing. So Casey Hudson came forward with the news that 2.0 was underway, and it reads as follows, so let's go through it. Hey everyone, 1 year ago we were preparing to launch Anthem, a game that represented a big leap into new territory for us as a studio. It was an exhilarating and terrifying experience to go out to the world with something new and different. We are grateful to all players who have come along with us on the journey. It has been thrilling for us to see the creativity of our players in designing customized javelins and watching them master Anthem's flying and fighting gameplay. I'm so proud of the work the team has put into this game, and at the same time there's so much more that we and you would have wanted from it. Over the last year, the team has worked hard to improve stability, performance, and general quality of life, while delivering 3 seasons of new content and features. We have also heard your feedback that Anthem needs a more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, and a more fulfilling endgame. So we recognize that there's still more fundamental work to be done to bring out the full potential of the experience, and it would require a more substantial reinvention than an update or expansion. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a long-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards, while preserving, of course, the fun and flying and fighting in the vast science fantasy setting. And to do that properly, we'll be doing something we'd like to have done more the first time around, giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first. In the meantime, we will continue to run the current version of Anthem, but move away from full seasons as the team works towards the future of Anthem. We'll keep the game going with events, store refreshes, and revisiting past seasonal Cataclysm content, starting with our anniversary towards the end of the month. Creating new worlds is central to our studio mission, but it's not easy. Sometimes we get it right and sometimes we miss. What keeps us going is the support from players like you. Your feedback gives guidance on how we can improve, and your passion inspires us with the courage to create. I look forward to working together with your involvement and feedback towards the best possible future for Anthem. Casey. So, that there on itself is fine. It's nice to know that EA can acknowledge the fact that there is something wrong with Anthem, but the thing is, they've come out and said that they're going to be looking at a complete rework of the core experience. That being, of course, as I said, the loot tables, the endgame, and the progression system. If it was just the loot tables, that can be tweaked, I feel, fairly easily compared to endgame and progression systems, because loot tables, you either add things into it, you take things out, or you increase or decrease the availability of some weapons and items. That there on itself is quite simple in comparison. But when you're looking at endgame mechanics or endgame content and progression systems, to me it seems like EA and BioWare are potentially looking to not do a 2.0 but a complete reboot of Anthem, and potentially a sequel of Anthem 2, because to change what Anthem is now and change the mechanics of the game completely and how it runs and operates, that's not just an update. Like that is a full-fledged experience. I mean, they say that they're even looking to do it because an expansion or a patch is not really what they would call it. So what would you call it? It is a reimagining of what the game is right now. And if that's the case, then that's technically Anthem 2, not Anthem. I think what needs to happen is they need to come out and... they have come out and said that the game needs a lot of work, and they acknowledge that the game is not where it should be. At this point, I would make a suggestion to just pull the game down entirely. Don't let people keep playing it, BioWare. You're going to give people a very unsatisfying or dissatisfying game where the progression system is flawed, the end game is bad, and 3 seasons of content that people have potentially already played before is nothing that would keep people engaged for much longer, considering the last event was the Christmas event back in, I'm going to say, maybe late November, early December. So you've only got that plus another 2 events, and then it's back to bad progression and endgame and bad loot tables. I think what you need to do is pull it down like Final Fantasy XIV. It's not to say that it's not redeemable, but you need to cut off people's ability to access it, because that way people have a chance to not forget, but not be... what's the way I'm looking to explain it? They're not engaged with it all the way up until that point. So it's a refresh to the game, and hopefully a refresh to people's experience of the game. Look at, again, Final Fantasy XIV. They pulled the game down and killed it off because it was so poorly implemented and executed that they felt that they had to stop people from playing it so that they had a chance to revitalize it and resend it out. If they hadn't have done that and just patched it, I think it would have been a lot worse, because people had the experience with them right up to the point of the expansion, which means more player fatigue, more people being upset, and ultimately it means even though there's a patch coming to rework the game, probably most of the player base had moved on. So those are my thoughts on it. We are getting a 2.0. I'm certainly interested to see what they do with the 2.0 experience. I, for one, played the beta and was not happy with it, and it cancelled my pre-order of it. I just did not see why I would enjoy the game, because I dislike the beta so much. But if the game comes good and they fulfill and deliver on what they're trying to do, I would most certainly give it a go and have a look and give an update to my thoughts here. But at this stage, 2.0 is coming. Let's wait and see what happens. But yes, I think it would be a very good idea to pull the game down and stop people from playing it, and focus, get it done, do it properly, and it also allows for more time, because people aren't waiting for it if they can't access it to begin with. Well, let's leave it at that. Please leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more, and let me know what you think about the 2.0 update that is coming. With that, my name's Red. You have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. I'm out.